Okay, so to continue the little mini series here, or whatever you want to call it, about showing how I list my items on eBay, just keep it real simple. So I've already showed you like the item I bought, looked it up and realized it had a good price, and when I brought it home, checked it over, cleaned it up, how I wrapped it up, boxed it up, took measurements, kind of how I write things on my box so I know what it is. I explained why I pre-box, and now I'll kind of show you why. But first, I need to take the photos off the card I took out of my camera onto the computer, so I'll kind of show you some of that too. So here's the pictures that were on my card, and I actually have a folder on my computer I call reselling, and I put my local pictures in one folder and eBay pictures in another. So local is going to be all my local items. Whenever they sell, I then drop them into the sold. So you may recognize some of these items that I've sold in the past. I keep pictures of everything. All right, but we are going to mess with eBay here. So you notice I have one called new stuff, and then I have a bunch of different categories. All right, so if you look at like bags, what I do is after I list an item, I drop it in here. But first, I drop new items into new stuff. Okay, so these are items that I need to list or whatever, kind of my death pile on the computer, I guess you could say. Some of these I've had a long time, I just haven't listed them yet, but I don't have too many left over. A few models, this cap gun I need to still do, this hat, I could never figure out what language this is. Let's see if I can open up the picture. Does anyone recognize what language these are written in? That would be helpful, because I'm not sure how to identify this. I got it at a garage sale and it looked really cool, so I bought it, but then when I got home I realized I had no idea how to identify it. But it's pretty cool, I just don't know that language. Okay, so anyway, I got a few things on there. Alright, so I'll drop the pictures on there, just drag and drop them. Grab these two also. If you notice, I took 12 pictures. Alright, so here they are. So I'll go ahead and highlight them all. Those two plus these two, so I can get to them in just a minute. Alright, so now I am done with the card out of the camera. So I took that out. Okay, so now we're ready to go. So now we need to find it again on eBay. So I'm just going with the 2015, even though apparently these fit 2014 through 2018. And I've already typed it up before. So here we go. So these are what are currently listed. And if you notice, these are brand new, going for about 100, pre-owned, 53 plus shipping. Bunch of brand new. Wow, really pricey there. Pre-owned 99 plus shipping. So I do look through just what's currently listed just to get a rough idea of what people are asking. It looks like lots of people are trying to get close to 100 or so. You see lots of 100 plus on these, but that's not necessarily what people are paying. That's what people are asking. But if you go over here to the side, we will look at, you know what, I'm going to also knock it down to just used, because mine's used. I don't really care about new. All right. And I want to just look at solds. So towards the bottom here, right here, solds, which will also highlight completeds. All right, so this will show what people have actually paid and what they have sold for and when. All right, so I don't know if you can tell on the computer, but today is February 10th, so February 9th, yesterday. This one sold for 50 with free shipping. This one sold for 75, free shipping. This one went auction style, because these were both buy it now. This one was auction. It had one bid for 60 plus 22 shipping, so someone paid $82 for that one. All right, here's one for 70. If you notice, these are mostly under $100. These are within the last 3 days. No one has paid $100 for one. That one's close. So here we go. The last 4 days, someone did pay $115 for one of them, so that's interesting. So I want to open that one up, because I want to look at the pictures and kind of see what condition theirs is in, see if they mention anything about, you know, something broken or scratched up, or if it's been tested or whatever. I want to look at all that kind of stuff. But most of these, it looks like, I don't know, here's some for close to 100, but it looks like most of them are going under 100. So I think that's where we're going to fall. Also, it looks like a lot of them are just doing free shipping. So that's something to decide too. Do I want to go ahead and just pay the shipping and price it out? I mean, I want to get more than that plus shipping. Okay, so like this one, they got 60, but someone actually paid 82. I kind of figure someone's going to pay probably between like 75 and 90 total. So I got to figure out that shipping. And I don't really know what it's going to cost. If someone one state over buys it, shipping, if I pay it, will be cheaper than if someone in California buys it. Unless I just did some kind of flat rate shipping, which is a whole nother thing I just don't deal with. I just do calculated shipping and all that. So anyway, I'll just open up a couple of these. And I just want to look them over. I want to see what they wrote. I'm also looking at their titles here, seeing how they did them. See, this one they wrote out years. They only went to 2017. They have RH for right hand, passenger side. They did not write the word right. Like right here, they have right. But then here, this is kind of weird that they put Toyota 4Runner twice. That seems like a waste of, letters that they could have used for something else. So we'll borrow from some of these. Okay, so this is one that went for over 100. I'll open it up. I'm going to open this one up. And I'm going to open that one up. Okay, so that first one that went for over 100. 2014 Toyota 4Runner, right, LED taillight. They did not write passenger anywhere. So that's something I'd probably want to add. Looked like they were asking 125 and they reduced it 20% off. This is probably a reseller, and that's a trick people do where it looks like you're getting a deal. They probably originally wanted to ask 100 anyway. It also came from San Diego, so I wonder who bought it, because that could have cost pretty good money to ship somewhere. They also went with standard shipping. Okay, that's interesting. Let's just look at it up close. I don't see any scuffs, but I know from taking pictures of mine it was hard to tell. Okay, we'll just go through these real quick. See how clean their backside is. So theirs is a little bit dirty. Okay, theirs does not have bulbs either. All right, see more pictures. A blurry photo of that's meaningless, although it does prove it's the right side. And oh, wait a minute, interesting. Maybe that is a part number. Huh? I wonder where that is. I did not think to check that. Okay, interesting. All right, so let's look at the next one. Okay, see here they got the dates, they're the years written out, but they just have a comma in between. I'm kind of thinking eBay may read that as one big number instead of separate, so that may have hurt them a little bit. But they do have RH, which would be right hand. They have passenger. They did not write the word right, which I would imagine if someone's looking for the Toyota taillight, they're either going to use the word passenger when they're searching, or they're going to type right. So this person was missing out, even though it did sell. Okay, let's look at their picture. It looks pretty clean. I don't really see any scuffs or scratches. Here's a little more close up. Okay, that one does look pretty clean. Go through more of these. Okay, now mine's about this condition, I'd say, about that clean. Theirs doesn't have bulbs either. We'll go through more pictures. Okay, there we go. They circled those. Do you see how they're broke? Like that clip there on the right side, that little gray area is kind of snapped off. And here, same thing. Looks like both sides are snapped. So it's actually broke. It would still work, but it is broken. Mine's not broken like that. It just has scuffs on the actual lens. So that's something to keep in mind. So they got 75 for that one, even though the bottom part was broke. Okay, now let's look at this one. All right, same thing. Toyota 4Runner, 14 to 18, right. That's good. And passenger, LED OEM taillight. So this one's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about this one is that they just put 14, 18. I would think someone would probably type their year all the way out, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, whatever. So they're kind of missing out there. This is the one that went auction style as well. And you can tell the winning bid, that's probably the starting price. Yeah, see, starting price $60. They only got one bid. They might as well have done buy it now. buy it now, and they probably could have asked more. They probably thought it was going to go for more, and it didn't. I had something sell like that this weekend, same thing. So I will just do this one, buy it now. Okay, now also they used economy shipping. So they went the cheaper route, especially because they're doing free, or no, they did do paid shipping. Let me look at this. Okay, this one's free economy, and this one says standard. Okay, interesting. Usually if I list something, if it's priority, it will say expedited shipping, and it would be pretty pricey. And if I use parcel select ground shipping, that usually shows up as economy. And if I do something free shipping, I usually do that. And if I can upgrade to better shipping, and if it's cheaper for me to send it out that way, I will. But I would never downgrade. I would never list it as priority and then downgrade to economy. But you could upgrade if it's cheaper, and it will get to them faster, and they get surprised and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, okay. Let's see, which one do I want to base mine off of? This one, they have the years, they have the RH passenger. They did not write right on there. This one, okay, you know what? I'm going to base it off of this one. So this button right here, sell now. I'm going to right click that, open in a new one, just so I can keep this one open so I can look at it later. And let's let it pop open. What's cool is that it automatically puts it in the right section. I didn't have to search any of this out. And I already get to borrow most of their title. Except, look at that, they had 25 characters left over. You want to use as much of these as possible to grab as many eyeballs off of eBay as you can. So one thing I immediately see missing, when we looked at all these, a lot of them say 2018. Okay, not all of them, but some of them. So I don't know for sure if it's just 14 through 17 or if it went through 18. But we're just going to add that. Okay, so we're going to add a 2018, so 2018. Toyota 4Runner right, LED taillight. This is not important, but I just like making things look a little more legit. Taillight right. I'm also going to add the word passenger. Someone might be looking for that. LED. We're also going to add OEM. Maybe someone's looking for that. I still have 6 characters left. I liked, which one was it? This, they had that RH for right hand. I'm not sure someone would really type that, but we still have 6 characters, so why not? So we will go right hand. And there we go, 3 characters left. I can't think of anything else to add. But our title is longer than everyone else's, but it has tons of keywords they might use. Okay. I'll never bother with subtitle. Why spend $1.50 extra? It just seems like a waste. I don't mess with that. Category, I don't have to do it. Automatically put it in there because I just basically copied someone else's listing. Okay, and I do have a store. If you're brand new to this, you probably won't have a store. to be honest, I only got the store to save on fees. I don't really bother with this too much. Okay, UPC. I did not see a barcode or UPC anywhere, so I'm going to put does not apply. Condition. And if you notice, these are starred, so these you have to do. This you don't. Category you have to have. So any of them with the red star you have to do. And if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of breaking this down if you're like a total beginner, because I've had a lot of people asking how I list items, and a lot of people asking how do I determine shipping. So this video should help with all that. Okay, so anyway, condition, it's used. We're just going to go with that. Now this is something I'll go ahead and explain now. Every once in a while, an item you may pick up and you don't know if it works or not. So you may decide, okay, well, I got it at a garage sale. I know it's used, but I don't really know if it works. I would recommend listing something like that as 4 parts are not working. Okay. With this taillight, I'm going to go ahead and call it used, even though I did not test out the LED. I'm taking a risk here, but I'm calling it used. Okay. Now, I know some people write description, but it is not required. I usually don't add the little description, but what that is, let's see, where does it pop up? Let's see if one of these does it. Yeah, right here. Okay. See, these 2 listings, you don't see a description here. This one you don't see it. This one you do right here. All right. But also, I mean, it just seems dumb to me. Yeah, look at the pictures, read the description. I mean, duh, someone's going to do it anyway. So I don't really ever do that. Okay, so here's the photos. You can see you have 12 photos you can pop up. So that's why I highlighted all of them earlier in my new stuff folder. All right, so I grab that first one, I drop it over here. You can see it's going to drop all 12 and start posting them. And I kept them highlighted for just a minute here. I'll show you why. All right, so while that is uploading, we can start with this. Okay, I don't bother with this. I don't bother with that. But I do look at this. They are requiring some stuff here. Okay, so it is a Toyota. We know that. Manufacturer part number, although this one did have a picture, I'm guessing maybe that's a part number, but I don't know for sure. So, well, you know what? Let's see if they had one listed somewhere. They did part number. They only did brand and UPC. They didn't even bother with it. Here, yeah, look, does not apply. Here they, I don't know. Theirs is a little different. Okay, yeah, they don't have it either. So what we're going to do is just go does not apply. We're just going to leave it alone. I'm not putting anything there or there. Placement on vehicle, I'll go ahead and do it. It's the rear right side. All right, I'm not going to mess with that. Yeah, I'm not really going to mess with any more of this stuff here. Okay, item description. Now let's see what they wrote on theirs. Okay, theirs is huge. Look at that. Most of their description is about return policy and all that kind of stuff. I don't mess with that. Really, this is the description of theirs. Basically, their title. Okay, so that's not very good. Oh, here we go. Light in good used condition with normal wear. Look at pictures, basically. Okay, here's theirs. Item is used, bulbs not included. Okay, I like that. I'll probably include that. Tab slightly broken. I think I showed that to you a while ago. Their bottom tabs I had circled were broken. Okay, but mine's not like that. But mine does have scuffs. And then this last one's used passenger right taillight from Toyota 4Runner from a 14 to 18. Perfect working condition is seen. There's a small bracket at the bottom which is cracked. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and copy theirs and just change it up a little bit. So I'll copy that. I'll plug it into here. And I like mine to feel a little nicer. This is probably totally unnecessary. I have a Toyota 4Runner taillight for sale. Probably completely not necessary at all, but I don't know. I just do it anyway. Okay, it is, and I'll change this up a little bit. It's a used passenger right taillight for, I'm going to change this up to their years, for 2014 to 2018. You know what? Here we go. I have a Toyota 4Runner. I'll add OEM LED up here, all right, and I'll get rid of it here. Just to make it a little easier to read. Okay, I don't like you. I'm just going to get rid of all this. And I'll write the lens has, and I probably didn't write. There we go. Okay. Has some scuffs, scrapes, and scratches from use, but is in good condition overall. No broken tabs. Maybe some other people are, you know, they're probably comparing taillights and they see some have tabs broken and this one doesn't. I mean, that's pretty much it, you know. And I'll add, please check out all the photos carefully to see, to see details and condition. Thanks. All right. And I'll actually do this. See close up photos. Okay, do I want to do any other changes? Hi, I have a Toyota 4Runner OEM LED taillight for sale. It's a used passenger right taillight for the 2014 to 2018 4Runners. Okay, all right, so we'll keep it simple like that. Okay, now here's where people always ask about pricing and how I do shipping and things like that. Okay, so here's where you can decide, do you want to do auction style or do you want to do buy it now? With this one, I want to do buy it now, but if you did want to do auction style, there's different ways, 1 day, 3 day, all the way up to 10 days. I found that the best time to end auctions is going to be at nighttime, and it seems like weekends tend to do better, Friday night through Sunday night, but it probably doesn't really matter. And I don't do auction very often, and not really for an item like this. So we're going to do fixed price. Okay, now there's different ways to do fixed price. You can just do it for, you know, a set amount of days or a month. Some people don't like doing it this way, but I pretty much just set mine till good till canceled, which means when, I mean, it says right here, it will automatically renew after 30 days and your listing fee will get charged. So if it's, you know, 30 cents to list this, 30 days from now, if it doesn't sell and it gets relisted, automatically renews, it will charge another 30 cents. Since I have an eBay store, it just kind of gets absorbed into the cost of my monthly payment for the store. But if you're brand new to this, that's what that means, okay? Or you could do set days, and when it's 30 days over, your item will end and it will disappear off of your main page or whatever, and you'll have to relist it. This just automatically relist. I just have been doing everything this way, and it seems to be simple. Okay, here's where we can decide to buy it now price, and if I want to do offers on it. Okay, so this one went for 100. Did this have the broken tabs, or was this the good clean one? No, I think this one was okay. But mine, the scuffs don't really show up. They probably didn't show up in the video, and they're kind of hard to show up on the photos. But yeah, it's not broken like that. But they did get 75 out of theirs. So I'm thinking I might ask, maybe I'll try to get about 70. See, they asked 60 plus shipping. I think I want to do shipping instead of free shipping on this one, because it's kind of a big box and it's almost 6 pounds, so it could be a little pricey. Okay, I think, you know what, we'll just go, how much do I want to do here? Let me look at these again one more time. The ones that have currently sold, someone paid 50 free, 75 free, 60 plus shipping, 70 free, so 85, okay. I think we'll go around 70. For whatever reason, I don't like just going a plain 70. I always like to make it look a little better. So I'll go like 69.95. Okay. If I wanted to do offers, I could, but I don't want to here. And then I only have one. Okay. I'll show you. I'll go ahead and do this. If I wanted to do a best offer, we could let them make offers. And then this option right here, automatically accept offers of at least. So if I said, okay, if someone wants to offer me at least, you know, I'm willing to accept $60. If someone offers me $59.99, it will get auto declined. If they offer me $60, it will be automatically accepted, and then I will wait for them to pay. If they offered me $65, it will automatically get accepted. Anything above $60 and above will be automatically accepted, and they will purchase it for that. I don't really usually do it that way if I do offers. I usually do it this way, so I still have some control. And what this does is it just declines offers lower than, let's say I was comfortable with 60 bucks. So if someone offers me 60, I'm like, well, I don't know. I'd really like to get at least 65, and I could counter them at 65 or something like that. Okay, I mean, you can do it either way, but this upper option here, it will just sell it at that, you know, that price or higher up to this point. Whereas this one, it will automatically decline anything lower than that. So if they offered $59.99, it will get declined. If they offer 60, it will just pop up, and then I can decide if I want to sell it or not. So I do like having that little bit of control. But in this item, I'm not even going to do a best offer. So I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, now we'll hop down lower, and I'll show you some more stuff down there. Okay, so down here, One thing I do up here, it'll say like, where do you want to get paid? Basically PayPal. Lately, I've been doing this require immediate payment because I've had some people that buy something and then, 3-4 days later, I'm still waiting for them to pay. So now, if it's a buy it now, it doesn't work with auction, but if you do a buy it now, they have to pay then. It just, maybe it turns some people off, but that's okay. I want the people that are going to immediately pay. I don't mess with any extra instructions or anything like that. Return options, this is what I have set up. I mean, people have all kinds of different opinions on this. I do accept returns domestically, but not internationally because it's just so expensive. Although I have accepted one, even though it was a pair of shoes I sold a while back that someone returned internationally. I did accept it, but I had it listed this way. Okay, so this is what I have set up. So I do 30-day returns, even though eBay would probably force you to do it later if they wanted to. And I also make buyer pay return shipping, but that's basically if they change their mind or if it was a mistake on their end. But if this taillight shows up and it doesn't work, then I would have to pay return shipping. Or if it's like broken or not as described or whatever, if it's something that would be my fault, I will pay for it. But I set it up this way. I'm not going to do internationals returns, but I mean, it's probably, I don't know, you kind of do what you want. Some people just do automatic free, they don't even make a buyer pay, they just do the seller free returns. I just set up this way and maybe it turns people off. I don't know. That's just what I do. And I do 30 days. I have not done the 60-day. I just kept it at 30 days. I used to do like 7 days or 14 or whatever, but now I do 30. And I still make the buyer pay. Okay, let's go a little further. Here's the shipping. All right. So I do calculated. Here, a lot of people have been asking, how do I determine my shipping? There's all kinds of different options. Flat rate, you could just set a set price. Let's say I want to charge $15, so it doesn't matter where it goes. I'm going to charge $15. But I like to do calculated because, like I said, if it goes one state over, it will cost so much. If it goes all the way across the country, it's going to cost way more. If you do calculated and you've done the pre-boxing like I've showed you, where you already know how big the box is, how much it weighs, you can do it this way. All right. So there's a couple of options here. All right. So I want to do paid shipping. I don't want to just pay it myself. I want them to pay it. So I'm going to make sure that is not checked. And I keep up with 2-day business handling time. I could do 1 day, but I don't like that in case something happens, or sometimes things will sell on like a Friday afternoon, and I could run to the post office real quick on a Saturday morning, but I don't really like to mess with that too much. So I do 2-day business. So if something sells on Friday, I don't have to ship it out till Monday. And like, something happens, the car has an issue or it snows or you forget something, I like having that extra day. So I always do 2 days. I don't mess with handling costs. But here are the options. When you click this, it gets a little overwhelming, especially if you're new. There's so many options, okay? There's FedEx, UPS, tons of United States Postal Service options here, just tons of them. And it's very confusing and just all kinds of stuff. I keep it bare bones simple, and I know I get people's opinion all the time on the videos. You should look into this type of shipping, and you should look into regional boxes, and what about flat rate, and how do you determine shipping and all this? Here's what I do. Okay, I mess with especially items that are over a pound, because this thing weighed over a pound. If it is under a pound, you can go with first class. Okay, first class is still pretty quick, 2 to 3 days. Something really light, like a video game that goes in a little bubble mailer. A lot of times, like a t-shirt or something like that is under 16 ounces or 1 pound. If it's under that, you can send first class. If it is 16 pounds, 1 ounce, then it is heavier than that, so you have to go with something different. So I like to go, and I still just mess with the post office. I haven't really done FedEx or UPS. But Parcel Select Ground is the one that I mentioned earlier that will show up as economy. And if you notice, it is 2 to 9 business days. All right. It is cheaper than priority, but priority is faster. So you got 1 to 3 days. Okay. Now there's also your flat rate envelopes, and there's certain flat rate boxes you can use. I do occasionally use these, especially like a pair of jeans or something that weighs over a pound. This tends to be the cheapest way to ship them, or like a small pair of tennis shoes. These are those bubble mailers you get for free from the post office. They used to be $6.90, but this year they are $7.50 no matter where you send them. And you can go up to, I don't know, so many pounds, 70 pounds or whatever it is, but it has to fit in the bag. Well, this taillight is way too big for that. You saw how big that box was. So I'm going to go with partial select ground, and I will give them the option of priority. Now, whichever one you choose first is what will pop up. So when you see this listing and it says economy shipping, they probably chose partial select ground, which would be, wait, let me find it here, which would be this, okay? So they are going to see a low price, but I can also offer an additional, and I can do priority. All right, so now when they actually go to buy it, when they click like, you know, buy now or whatever, they'll see the page and it will show them both options, and it will show them this price and it will show them this price. Now you can reverse it if you want to, and you can do priority first and then partial select ground. But when they see this listing right here, instead of economy, it's going to say expedited shipping, and it's probably going to cost more. And someone, you know, I'm in the middle of the country, so someone, you know, one state over, it will show, let's say, I don't know, $15 to ship to there, but someone in California, it might show $28 or whatever. You know, it's going to be a lot more. So the other thing is you could give the option, but you can sometimes make money on priority mail. I've mentioned this in several videos, but eBay gives me a discount when I use priority mail through them. Somehow they get their shipping discounted through eBay. Shipping gets discounted through the post office. It's like subsidized or whatever. That's a whole nother issue you don't want to really get into, but you can save money that way. And if you use priority first, then the person, let's say it does cost them $28 to ship, but the price that eBay will charge me for the label might be $21. So I'll actually make $7 off the shipping. So sometimes I do that, or if it's an item where I'm like, well, you know, a really big box, I'll probably put partial select ground first. But like I said, whichever one you choose first is what's going to show up here. Even though you have both options, they can have it shipped economy and they can have it shipped expedited. This is the one that's going to show. But I know this box is kind of big, and it's almost 6 pounds, so it could be kind of pricey priority, and that might turn people off. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do parcel first and then do priority second. All right. Now the other thing is that partial select ground is about the cheapest you can go. So if they pay, let's say it does cost $22, that's probably what eBay is going to charge me, $22 to send it partial select ground. But for whatever reason, the discount they give me on priority is sometimes still cheaper than that. If this is $22 to ship, the priority might be $20.75, you know, so I could save $1.25 by upgrading. Okay, so priority is an upgrade from partial select ground. So I guess that's kind of another thing is if I list it as priority first and have partial select ground second, and I was doing free shipping, let's say, and it was going to cost me $30 to send that priority, or it was going to be $22 to partial select ground, it's tempting to go ahead and change it to that. But that's a downgrade, and that's a terrible idea. You don't want to do that. That could really cause you issues. But you can do it this way, where they see this show up, more than likely they're going to select that, you know, 2 to 9 business days. They're thinking, oh yeah, it might only be 2 days. Where priority is 1 to 3, it really does show up in, you know, about 2 days. Partial select ground, it's going to be closer to that 9 days. But anyway, they'll see this price, $22, and if priority happens to be cheaper with the discount eBay gives me, then I will choose that, and it will get to them faster. And a lot of times they're very happy about that, and they write that in the positive feedback. Okay, so I don't know. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just do it this way. And like I said, 2 business days. I know I explained a lot there, but that's what people ask. I basically keep it down to this. And like I said, sometimes I use those flat rate bubble mailers. And then if this was less than a pound, I would put it as first class Sometimes I offer priority shipping on that, but it's not much difference. Okay, so now we'll go further down and I'll show you some more stuff I choose. Okay, so here's one more thing. People always ask about international shipping, like how do you do that, or whatever. I always go with the global shipping program. I just click that right there. And global shipping program is some company that eBay works with. I don't know if it's their own company or just one they have some special deal with, but their warehouse is in Kentucky. I don't live very far from there, so it doesn't cost very much for me to ship something there. The way global shipping works is someone international can buy my item, and because I am doing paid shipping on their part, they will have to pay what it cost me to send it to Kentucky, and they will also pay to ship it from Kentucky to wherever they are. Let's say they live in London, England. So they will pay, two different types of shipping. So when they see this item show up on eBay, when they're looking it up, they will see how much it costs. It might be $80 to ship it or whatever. It will show up on their end, but on my end, it will only show that, $22 or whatever it is to send to Kentucky. Now, if I do free shipping and I choose that, then I pay for the item to go to the global shipping program warehouse in Kentucky. Once it arrives there, I am free and clear of all responsibility. That was my job to get it to the warehouse. From the warehouse to London, England, or wherever they are is now on that company, and the buyer pays for that part of the shipping. Okay, so I'm not spending the $80 or whatever to send it to London. I'm only gonna pay for it to go to the place in Kentucky, and then from there the buyer pays. So the way we have it set up, the buyer pays me to send it to Kentucky, and then they pay from Kentucky to their place. If you did free shipping, I pay the first part, they pay the second part. Okay, I don't mess with any of this stuff here. Here's the why we pre-boxed, okay? And then why I wrote all the measurements on the box, so now I can just look at it. And I always go smallest to biggest, so it was 16 by 14 by 9. Let me double check that. Yeah, that's what I wrote. And it was 5 pounds, 9 ounces. 5 pounds, 9 ounces. Okay, so if I had not pre-boxed this and wrapped it up and all that, I would have no clue how big this was and how much it weighed. I'm not really sure what I would do here. I don't even know. You would just, I guess you just estimate, like, I don't know. I guess it weighs 3 pounds or whatever. Or if you had a scale but you didn't box it up, you knew it was 5 pounds 9 ounces, so you could click that, and it would just estimate shipping. But the person might overpay or whatever. If you remember up here, we did calculated. So this is very precise. It's already pre-boxed. I already have it weighed out. Whoever buys it will know exactly how much it costs to get shipped. I just think it's easier that way. And the only issue pre-boxing has given me is like these options up here. Since I already put it in some box I got from Kohl's, I'm not going to end up using a flat rate box. I'm not going to, I probably could send it express this way, but I don't know. It takes out some of these options, but that's how I keep it bare bone simple and just, I'm just trying to sell things and get it out. I just give a few shipping options and that's it. And then, whatever. So other people can complicate it more than that and have tons of options and all that, or deal with certain size boxes and all that. I like to just pre-box it. When it sells, you grab it, you put a label on it, you send it out. Okay, we'll go down to the bottom and we'll go with more options. Okay, now lately eBay has had their promoted listings options, and to tell you the truth, I don't mess with it. I mean, it's basically just a discount. It shows you right here, if I did a 7% promoted listing, if it sold, then it would get charged an additional $4.89 would be taken, out of the sell price. I don't mess with that. I don't mess with this either. Basically, we just list the item and that's it. Okay, so we're good to go. So you click list item and that is it. Okay, so I realized that the last segment was really long, like 40 minutes or something like that. It shouldn't take you anywhere near that long to make a listing, but I just wanted to go over it in a lot of detail, maybe go over it a little too much, but I get a lot of people asking questions about, especially about shipping. So I just wanted to kind of show you what runs through my mind when I'm looking up, the titles of other people listing and getting a rough idea of an average about how much I could probably sell something for and all that kind of stuff, but especially the shipping. I just keep everything bare bones simple. I am no pro at this. I've only been doing it for a year and a half. It's been a good year and a half though. I think I've been getting even better at it now. But, I just keep it real simple. If it's under a pound, I'll go first class. If it's, I forgot to mention this, but if it's like a book or sometimes like, it kind of depends, but mostly just books. If I sell them, I can ship them media mail. It tends to be cheaper than like priority or something like that if it's over a pound. And it can even be cheaper than first class if it's under a pound. But basically, for the most part, most things I sell, if it's under a pound, goes first class. If it's over a pound, I do the two options, either regular priority shipping or parcel select ground, which is cheaper but slower. And a lot of times I give people the option. If I do free shipping on an item, many times nowadays, I will post it or I will list it as parcel select ground. So they expect it to be slower shipping. And then once it sells, then I will see how much eBay will charge me to ship it either way. And they tend to give me a discount on priority that is actually cheaper than the parcel select ground. So I'll choose that. So they end up getting it faster. And then when they leave me feedback, they're always happy that it come much faster than expected. So I will sometimes upgrade shipping like that, but I would never downgrade. So I would never list something as priority shipping and then ship it with, parcel select ground because it's cheaper. That's a downgrade and a big no-no. That could get you, that could give you some issues. But I do upgrade a lot of times. Just depends, basically whichever one's cheaper if it's an upgrade. Okay, so I forgot to mention this, but once an item has been listed, I like to pull it out of my new stuff folder so I don't have to look at it anymore. So I just open up my eBay folder in another, separate folder. And like I said, I have all of these different categories. So I'll put this one in car parts. So I'll just drag the pictures and drop them over here. And then they're good to go. So now I just know that these are the items I still need to list. Now, one more thing. Once this eventually sells, I will then drop those pictures into the sold. So these are all items that have all my car parts that have sold. And I have not been keeping up with this part as much, but I try to, like every month or every other month, I grab all the pictures out of my sold folders and each individual, like I haven't done it here in a while either. But basically, I will grab all of these sold pictures and I will drop them on my external hard drive. I have a 1 terabyte external hard drive. I have thousands and thousands of pictures on there I've taken for eBay. It clears up space on the computer. I do the same thing with all my YouTube videos. Once I edit them and post them on my YouTube channel, I will grab all the files, any of the pictures for thumbnails, just everything. I will grab it and put it on my external hard drive as well to free up space on my computer. So as you can see, I haven't done it in a while. I need to do it, but that's just one thing I do. So that's how I keep track of all my pictures, okay? Now, one more thing people probably might be wondering about. I know I get people asking questions about the whiteboard that I have in the background of my videos. That's not really where I keep track of everything. I really just have those for the video so I can look at them real quick to see how much something sold for. I actually write everything down on a clipboard. I could probably just use it, but it's a little more visual to see it up on the whiteboard. But I actually do keep track of everything on a spreadsheet. So I keep track of it here. So basically, here I'll tell you what, I'll go to February and I'll show you. So this is what it looks like blank each month. It's February now, and I just haven't transferred over to the new month. I need to. I just haven't done that yet. This is what it looks like. I just call it eBay resale receipts and sales. Each month, basically the month changes, but this part looks the same. So over here in this column, I write down exactly what I bought. Then I have a little gap right here, and then over here is all the details where I bought it, the receipt number. If I wrote it down in a receipt book, I'll explain that in a minute. The date and how much I bought it for. Then another space, and then when it sells, I write it all here. Where? So it'd be eBay on this date. The person paid this much. They paid this much shipping, or if it's free shipping, that turns into a 0. This adds these two squares together automatically for me. This is how much I pay for shipping, because a lot of times eBay gives me a little bit of a discount. and then it tallies it up. It takes the total sales price and it subtracts how much I paid in this column, and it subtracts how much I paid for shipping in this column, and it gives me a total. And then it also adds up all of these numbers at the end of the month and gives me a total here. And the one thing I have not quite figured out how to do is eBay fees, but basically each month eBay sends me an email that says, here's how much you spent on fees this month, and I just copy that number and plug it in here, and it'll be automatically subtracted right here. And then this will show me how much I made that month. And it's not completely accurate, but it's pretty close. It's a pretty good idea. So this is more my records of just knowing when I bought everything. If I want to go, if someone gives me an offer on something, I can come back to my spreadsheet and see how much I spent on it to see if I want to accept their offer or not. And then this total profit right here, I also have pop up right here. Okay, so when I open up each month, I can just look at this real quick and see how much profit I made. So now I'll go back to January. Also, I have one. This is all eBay items. I keep one separate for local as well, just so I can have everything separated so it's a little easier to look at. Pretty much the same thing. What I bought where here could be different. It could be, something I just had in the house, or I got it at a garage sale, or I got it at Ross, or whatever, Salvation Army, or I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. When I sell it, you can see most of my stuff sells on Facebook, but sometimes Craigslist or OfferUp or whatever, and I keep receipt numbers and things like that. Okay, so anyway, we'll go back here. So as you can see, purchased items, whenever I buy things at garage sales, on Friday and Saturday, I'm so busy, but I still write everything down. So right here is the 4Runner taillight. When I bought it, I got it at Salvation Army. I do not have a receipt number written down, and I should explain that. So a receipt number is the receipt number in the book I keep. So if I buy anything at garage sales, yard sales, maybe off Facebook Marketplace, basically anywhere that does not give me a receipt, I write it in a little receipt book that I get at the office supply section at Walmart. I get the little I don't know if they call it 2-part or 2-page. They also make a 3-page. I just get the 2-page. Basically, it's a receipt book. The cover is like pink and blue and purple. It'll have 4 receipts on it, and then when you turn the page, there's a yellow page behind it, and that is like a carbon copy. So I will just write down the date when I bought something. I will write down the address of the house, like if it's if it was a garage sale or whatever, I'll write down the address of that. If it was like a church rummage sale, I'll write down the church name and their address, that type of thing. And then each receipt has its own individual number. And then I also write down each individual item on that receipt. And then I add them up and I write the total price. And then I transfer all that information here. So I write, what I bought. Here's the, I got this one at a garage sale. This was the receipt number. I bought it on this date. And, this is probably a bad example, but this is how much I spent. But this is all, these are all items I bought individually, and I decided to sell them as one big lot. So I put it all here together. Here's a better example. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to go here? Here we go. Yeah, like this. Where's a good example? Okay, right here. A leather jacket I bought at a garage sale. Here's the receipt number. I bought it on this date. I paid that much, and I have it listed on eBay. Once I list it, I write eBay here. Like this item here is not listed yet. Okay, these two are not listed yet, but this is. Once they sell, then I fill in the info. So like this thing right here, I bought at a garage sale. There's the receipt number. I bought it on that date. I spent that much on it. It sold on eBay on this date for that much with free shipping. So they paid that much. That's how much shipping cost me. That's my profit, not including eBay and PayPal fees. So that was a terrible sale there. I probably broke even or, made $1 or $2 or something like that. Not good. Yeah, so some of my sales lately have not been very good at all. So here's another one. This was a personal item I had. It was a cymbal I had on my drum set. I decided to go ahead and sell it. I didn't have a receipt number because it was just something I had at the house. I listed it on that date. I had $0 in it because it was an item that I had, you know, at home. I listed it on eBay. It sold on that date for that much. I did free shipping. So that's how much the person paid. I paid that much for shipping, so that was my profit. That's a good example there. Okay. So anyway, that's just how I keep track. So on this right here, the taillight I got at Salvation Army. I kept the receipt from Salvation Army, or like if I buy something at Ross, or if I get it at Goodwill, I just keep those receipts. But on the back of the receipt, I will write exactly what I bought. Because many times it will just say housewares or automotive or whatever. You know, it doesn't say anything, or men's shoes, but it doesn't say what it is. So on the back of the receipt, I write exactly what it was and how much I paid for it. Okay, so this thing here on the back of my receipt, I wrote, you know, 4Runner taillight, $4. So now that's listed. I'll put it at eBay and I will leave it alone. All right, and I'll save it, and now we're good to go. So once it sells, then the day it sells, I will put that date on there, how much the person paid for it. We listed it at, what was it, $69.95. If I would have put a best offer, and let's say they offered me $65, then I would put $65 here. But since we're going $69.95 when it sells, I will put that here. Then however much they pay for shipping, I will put here. This will add those two together. And then this will be how much eBay charges me to shipping, which many times is cheaper than what the person pays. And then this will be the profit. So it will be the total sales price minus how much I paid, $4, minus how much I paid for shipping, and it will total, you know, make a total over here. So basically that's what I do to keep track of everything. It's just on a spreadsheet. This program is Open Office. This is a free open source program you can get on the internet. I can't even think what it's called now, but you can just download it for free. So I didn't pay anything for it. And I mean, it takes a little while to kind of figure this out. And there's a couple of formulas you'll figure out. But if you don't want to do that, like on like I showed you here, I have automatically, there's a formula set up here where it's, you know, it's two columns added together will equal this price, but total profit is going to be one column minus another column. I mean, I don't know, it gets a little complicated if you do that, but I don't know, it's just an easy way to look at it. So each month, so let's say now it's June, but I want to go back to February and look, I can just look up all my numbers, everything will be on here, I can just look it up real quick. So that's just how I keep track of everything, and try to keep it somewhat organized, especially when tax season comes around, things like that. It's just easy to, you know, verify numbers and things like that when I'm looking them up. So anyway, that is how I list items, and also how I keep track of my photos and all my items on a spreadsheet.